experiences have you had paranormal?
The paranormal? Well, I don't really believe in the paranormal, mate, to be honest with you. I'll tell you now. But I have had an experience with something I have no fucking explanation for, to be honest. And it stresses me out to talk about it, because obviously your audience have been waiting for a bit, haven't they, to hear this. But yeah, imagine 6 friends in a pub, and the girl who everybody worships because she's fantastic looking says, I know about a haunted church. I want to go and have a look at it, but I need you boys to come with us. So we're like, oh my God, we know what she's playing at, you know. So everybody's like, immediately, yes, yes. Then they all start talking about their paranormal experiences. You know, we're all in a pub, remember? Yeah. Just about to sit down for a drink. And I'm just thinking, fuck, what? What? I don't believe in this shit. Why should I be involved in it? So anyway, we all end up going, because I've no choice. Everybody else decides to follow the angel, you know, who was my best mate at the time. So head to a place called Crowdon. I suggest nobody go here. And I'm serious. You'll find, well, by the time I've told you what I'm telling you, you'll think about it before you do go. Even if you're one of these ghost hunters who drive me up the fucking wall, by the way. You know, because they've no idea what they're fucking doing. They don't know what they're doing, mate. They walk around with all these little instruments that mean fuck all. I could walk in with a magnet and disturb all of them. You know, because I'm a scientist. But I'm a scientist that's seen some fucking non-scientific stuff that I can't explain, and it scares the shit out of me, to be honest with you. Because it did scare the shit out of me at the time, and you never forget it. No, mate, I can remember every fucking detail of it. It'd take me 3 hours to talk you through it from moment to moment, so I can only give you, you know, bullet points of the journey and to what happened. We end up going to Crowdon. We drive through this little place and we hit the Snake's Pass, which is... Well, yeah. We'd left the pub. I think time we left the pub, I'd be about 5:30. We'd only just like got there and sat down. And within 15 minutes we're in the car. Fuck the pub, let's go to a haunted church on the moors. And I'm just thinking, what have I got myself into? Fuck's going on? So I'm just going along with all this madness. And all the drive up to Crowdon, everybody's talking about scary stories and stuff, and I'm just listening quietly in the background, you know. And then we hit the Snake's Pass, and the Snake's Pass is notorious. Okay. I need to say no more than the Snake's Pass. Anyone with a brain will be able to find it. But please don't go. I'm telling you, your audience, do not go to where I'm talking about. It's dangerous. And we go up the Snake's Pass for about 6 miles. The middle of nowhere, this winding road going through the fucking moors on the mountains. It's such a desolate place. You really don't want to break down up there because, mate, I'll tell you, there's a valley on one side that drops down about a mile, and there's a mountain on the other side that goes up a mile. And this is the thing you're going up, like a little snake. That's why it's called the Snake's Pass.
What, can you see the church all the way?
Well, people die on this road every year because, you know, you get motorbikers thinking, fuck, I've got, 12 mile of road, I can go as fast as I want. And then they don't realise the corners are so tight, they end up dying. So it gets, loads of stories of people driving up the road and they're seeing ghosts and stuff of dead people who've driven up there. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's bollocks. Yeah. But one thing I did notice while we were driving up is on the side of the road, to the right-hand side of you, if you're going from Glossop up the Snake's Pass towards Crowdon Church, which is fucking infamous, by the way, for witchcraft and stuff like that. Right. We found out in the history after the fact. Yeah. It has a massive history of, witches performing in the little graveyards and stuff like that. And the vicars suddenly dying and stuff. And this church is like 18th century church. It's just, been maintained and stuff and, replastered. But the core of it is an 18th century medieval fucking nightmare that you should not go near. No. Okay? Anyway, on the road as we're going up, there's gates. and we're going up for 6 miles. So I think every mile there's a gate. And these are just big double black iron gates. And in the centre of the gate, there's a black pentagram, which I found quite disturbing after seeing 3 of them. And then constantly, because my mind's on these gates, I'm counting them. And every single one is the same. And there's a story to that, because I had to find out where these iron gates were made, where they came from. And they were all legit. The laird of the land, the guy who owns this vast area of moorland, he paid for them all to be like that. Yeah. Turns out he's an occultist, so it makes sense that he'd build fucking occultist gates. Yeah. But, you know, that's just one piece of this massive jigsaw that I'm going to talk to, this night of fucking chaos and horror that I could not believe I was witness to. Because I don't believe in fucking ghosts. Yeah. Okay?
I'm a skeptic.
Well, I'm not even a skeptic. It's not possible without technology intervening, as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, what the fucking scientists know. To be honest, it's all guesswork. You know, it's all best guess, all sciences. But when you see something you can't measure, you know, it happens in front of you instantaneously, and then you've got an ordeal to deal with, plus screaming people. Well, I'll get you there anyway. So we're going up, and then all of a sudden, as we come around this corner, this is 6 miles up, on the left-hand side, about 500 metres off the road, going up another little slip road, you see this huge cross, and as you're going up, this little church reveals itself. So then you pull off to the left and you drive up the little lane, which is about 300 metres long, into this car park that could hold about 10 cars. And you look to your side, there's a little stone wall with a little iron gate and a little path going up to these double arch doors like you'd see on a church. Yeah. And it's this little house on the prairie type church.
Not a big church then?
No. Oh, it's about 20, 25 feet high and maybe, I don't know.
A little one back then.
60 feet long. It's fuck all. It's just a little church, and it's got a steeple, tower, and a bell, and a fucking cross on it. You know, a church.
Yeah.
18th century. So we start looking around, looking at the graves, and they're all falling in on themselves. And it's a spooky little sort of place. The sunlight's getting a bit twilighty because the sun's going down. Because remember, we're in the mountains. There's a mountain across the valley from us.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And it's all just, you know, dry stone walled, little quaint church. And then we stopped and we noticed there's iron, like cable, not cable, what do you call it? Chain, fucking iron chains, about an inch thick, these fucking things. So like something you'd hold a boat with, you know, straight across, bolted in, right across the front. There's 2 of them. And I'm thinking, what the fucking hell's that? And people are going, oh, it's a couple of chains. And I'm like, no, just hang on a minute. That's not just a couple of fucking chains. That's a couple of monster chains bolted across a church door. And there's 2 of them.
Not just one.
You can't unbolt these things. You'd have to cut them with a fucking oxyacetylene torch. They're that thick. And then I noticed the fucking door. There's 3 bolts, just hand bolts that you could undo from the outside, bolting this door shut from the outside. And I'm just thinking, and there's obviously a big fucking old-fashioned keyhole. And I'm just blown away by this. And by this time, everybody's wandering around the back.
Yeah, seems like it.
Nosing around the back of the church, going on a little ghost hunt. And I'm just still perplexed with this door. Anyway, I end up following them around the back, and it's when you go around the back, you kind of walk up a little slopey bank, and it brings you to the height of the roof, so you can literally put your hand on the guttering at the back. And there's little windows which are, you know, patterned, little beautiful,
stained glass.
Yeah, kind of stained glass windows. And everybody's going, oh, how do we get in? Because you can't open the front door, even though you take the bolts off, it's obviously locked with a key from the inside. So I said, well, you know, it's an old church, no one's here. Let's just kick the window in. And everyone's going, can't do that. And by the time they got around the 4 of them, you can't do that. I've kicked the window in because I'm a fucking idiot. You know, I might be clever, but I'm an idiot. And I just don't like wasting time. So I kick the window in, right? So everybody's looking through the window now, and now we're switching torches on because we're looking down the slope. But if you've ever been in an old church, the windows kind of have a really long 33-degree angle slope up to them. Yeah, but what we didn't know is this slope is about 4 feet, and then there's about 9-foot drop. Because remember, we're up to the fucking roof on this thing at the banking at the back. So, you know, we'll call him John. He slides in first and he screams, right, he's twisted his fucking ankle because he's just gone down this 4-foot slide and dropped 9 foot. And then he informed us what's going on. So we're like, oh, for fuck's sake. So we're helping each other down then. So anyway, we all get in and we're just in this nice little church. It's about 40 feet wide by about 60 feet long. At one end where the bell tower end is, obviously we've got 2 staircases going up that match a balcony. And there's a little door that goes up to the bell tower. We can fucking see all this. Okay.
Split open.
Smelt damp in there. That's the first thing that hit me. Damp and feisty, like nobody's had a fucking door open for, 50 years. And there's a little altar with a cloth over it, similar to this one that you're looking at now. Just white like this, nothing fancy. Got a cross on one end, 2, in middle, and 2 fucking candlesticks. And there's a big stain. So me being inquisitive twat, okay, I go over to the stain, have a look, and I know instantly what it is. It's blood, dried blood. It's brown.
Human.
It's oxidised. It's gone brown. And it's been there for fucking God knows how long, okay, because it's just an old blood stain. So I'm thinking, well, that makes fucking room for sacrifice right there. Kathy overhears me. Yeah. Sacrifice? What do you mean? Starts this kind of energy going in the room of panic. And I'm like, just chill. So I managed to chill everybody out. And I'm like, oh, what we're doing? What's the script? And then Kathy turns around and she screams at the top to a shrill where I wanted to knock her out, to be honest, because I'm thinking, shut the fuck up. What the fuck's going on? Shut up, you noisy bitch. Or I'll fucking hit you with something. It was such a shrill, mate. I thought there was a fucking banshee next to me. Yeah. Anyway, she's screaming, so we all look at what she's looking at, because clearly she's fucking in distress. She can't even hear us saying, shut the fuck up. And the lads behind me, shut up. And I instantly, think, fuck, and shut up. Yeah. And what I'm looking at is what I can only describe as a monk.
Right.
Just appears, because I've just seen him, and he's walking across the top of the balcony. Well, floating. It's not like a walk. It's more like a float across the top of the balcony. Everybody's like now freaking out because we can all see this. And I'm thinking, there's someone in here fucking dressed up, just taking a piss. That's what I'm thinking, because it was as clear as I can see you. It had physicality. You can see the cloth moving as it moves. Yeah. But there's no walk to this thing. So I grab hold of Kathy, I push her behind me, just instinct, I'm not being brave. 2 of the lads, one comes up at the side of me here, the other ones are scared to fucking death with Kathy behind us. And my mate here, he's trying to keep these quiet. Shut it, fucking shut it. And I'm moving forward a little bit because I'm like, what the fuck is this I'm looking at? And this thing turns, comes down the left staircase. It'd be the right staircase to it, but it's the left one to me because I'm looking at it. And it's floating down the stairs. I shit you not. There's no feet. It's all I can see is like a monk's habit from the fucking 18th century. Yeah.
Like a monastery or something.
Yeah, I can't tell whether it's brown or black, but it looked like grey.
Right.
Because I've got a torch. And I'm fucking shining it on this thing as it's coming up, because it's like we're in like a room. I'll just show you what the lighting was like. That's about the light we had. So we had torches on. It's going dark outside.
You were shining the light through it?
No, the light wasn't going through it. The light was hitting it like it's a solid object, like it had hit you. Yeah. Because I'm still thinking this is someone fucking dressed up here and I'm going to smash his fucking head in. Really, because I was like so scared. It's either flight or flight, and we couldn't fly anywhere because we can't climb 9 foot up a plastered wall and then a 4 foot. There's no way we can do it. No. With no ropes, we're fucked. we've got to kick the front window through or see if we can open the door, but we can't get to the door because this thing's at the bottom of the stairs now, coming towards me. So I get all like, you know, fucking come any fucking closer to me because it's like 4 feet away. And all I can say, I can't see a face. This is what's freaking me out. There's no face. Where the hood is, like if you have a hoodie up, it's just completely black. And when you shine the torch on it, it absorbs the light. That means you can't see through to the back of the hood. Yeah. So if this thing was transparent, I would have been able to see through to the back of the hood of the hoodie. Yeah. But I couldn't because the black that was in front of the hood was literally absorbing the light, which can't happen. No. I'm a scientist. All this is going through my head in a millisecond. And I'm shitting myself and ready to fight to the fucking death of this thing. Yeah. And I must have given off the energy that's what was going to go on. You know, we're going to kick off. Because this thing to me is absolutely real in every way, shape or form. I just can't identify what it is. I'm terrified because this looks like fucking God knows what. You know, well, I don't believe in demons and ghosts, but whatever this is, it's not fucking human. Yeah. That is for sure. Whatever this is, it is not fucking human. I can't see any hands. Right. You know, because it's obviously an old habit comes over the hands. And it turns away from me. And fucking floats up the stairs, turns back, and it just floats up the stairs.
It just disappears?
No, back along the top. And then it vanishes. It looks like it's vanishing through the door of the bell tower.
Right.
And everybody's like, you could hear a pin drop in that room, mate, when that happened. And then I'm like, right, let's just go to the front door. And we're going to the front door. I haven't took my fucking light off this door. Because I'm like in shock, but trying to keep control of the fucking situation. Because the slightest noise, I'm going to hit someone because I'm fucking in furious anger. I'm full of adrenaline, buzzing with it. So the moment that anything disturbs me, I'm going to attack it. That's the feeling my body's got at the moment. I'm going to kill something, you know. Yeah. So let's please just control ourselves and get out before I murder someone, right? Because I'm ready to kill. Yeah. I was fucking terrified. Yeah. And we get to the front door and we find that on the front, where I'm thinking there's a key, there's just a handle like a normal door. So I just think to myself, fuck it. And I open it and push the door forward. I'm not even thinking about the chains. The chains are broken. The door opens and we're outside. And I've got no explanation there.
No.
I can't even begin to tell you. So I went standing there studying. I'm not going to study this thing. I'm fucking still. I'm just thinking, what? Only when I think back, I'm thinking, how the fuck did that happen? Yeah. Did you
realise it at the time then?
Well, yeah, because as soon as we opened the door, I'm just thinking the door's opening. The chains, what? And the chains are broke. Yeah. They just look like they've been melted. Like they've been melted with a laser or something. That's, you know, I didn't spend time. It was just a quick glance. I'm thinking it's melted. I'm off. Let's fucking get in the car. There's no time to do anything. I was terrified. I was shitting my pants, thinking this fucking monster or whatever it is, is just going to come back. Kick my ass, literally fucking suck the life out of me or something, because I had no idea what this thing is, but I knew it was real. I could feel the energy. There's no way it wasn't physical at that moment, but whatever created it, I can only guess. Yeah. Then we jump in the car. It's not even over yet, and we sit and we calm down for a bit. And then we decide to fucking get out of the car because we've relaxed a little bit. We've calmed down. We're having a fag. Yeah. And we walk up the side of this wall. We just see it top of a house. And we think, oh, fuck, we didn't even know there was a fucking house. Yeah. So we look over this wall and there's a fucking house. We later found out that this house was the caretaker for the church. But he lived in a house down this drop, which is about 40 feet. But we didn't hit the crest of the bend. We'd gone up to the church, so we didn't notice his house. It's hidden by the actual drive as you're going up. So anyway, we're having a fag over the top of this wall, and these two Dobermans come out into the backyard, looking at us, barking like fuck. Proper Dobermans, full on, glistening in the fucking moonlight, you know. And we're just up there having a fag talking about these two dogs. This guy comes out and he shouts up, he said, "Are you dead or alive?"
He is.
To us.
That's a bit fucked up.
Are you dead or are you alive?
Aye.
What a fucking question.
What's he seen?
So immediately I'm thinking, what the fuck did he just say?
Mm.
I'm like, what? Alive? Why?
Yeah.
Obviously. It's an obvious
Yeah.
reply, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what
And he said, well, you see that much up there, you've got to ask these days. I suggest you get in your car and fuck off. That's what he said. And then he whistled, and dogs, like they were military trained, just fucking shut the fuck up and they're straight back in the house. I couldn't believe it. I thought, well, I was thinking, well trained. You know?
Yeah.
And then pondering what he was saying, I'm just thinking, fuck.
Yeah.
This is getting a bit fucking real after what we've just been through.
Definitely.
So we jumped back in the car and we're like, let's just fuck off, shall we? You know, and then no sooner had I said that, there's a fucking bang on the bonnet of the car that had me fucking jumping out of my seat. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So my mate turns the light on. We see two eyes outside looking in through the window. I shit you not, mate. Looking in through the fucking window. Glowing yellow, obviously. I can tell, you know, this is a fucking animal that's just jumped onto the bonnet, and I'm instantly thinking sheep. Because we're on the mountains, there's fucking sheep everywhere. Right, so I'm thinking sheep, because it had sheep eyes. You ever seen a sheep's eye? They're fucking freaky eyes. But we can see this. So I'm like, turn the fucking light off. He turns the light off. And just from the moonlight, I can see that there's a panther. A black panther on the boot of the car, on the bonnet of the fucking car. You know, 3 feet from me.
In fucking the mirrors.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fucking idiot.
So I'm like, turn your headlights on, just hit the fucking gas. So as he turns it off, it jumps 6 foot straight over this fucking wall, which has got a 40-foot drop to it, remember, because it's a guy's back fucking yard.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, what the fuck? Drive! And you can imagine, everybody's like stunned with absolute terror now because they've just seen a panther. They don't know it was a panther. No. Because, you know, they're not into animals like I am. But I instantly know this is a black panther. I'm thinking that can't be possible in fucking England. Nowadays, thousands of them are being seen. You know, these black panthers all over the fucking moors. Right. So clearly it's something that's escaped from a fucking zoo. That's out there, you know, when you think about it. You know, I've had plenty of time to think about it, and that must have been what happened, and it was a coincidence after this experience I just had. There's no way science can explain that to me. That was fucking interference from something else that made that happen. It was fucking shocking, man. I can't even get out of it.
So, I mean, that's not been any time soon, but like, when was that? A few decades ago.
Oh, mate, fuck it up. I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
So it'd have been 80.
That'd be fucking 2000, what, 2?
Something like that. Was that when it happened? Right?
Yeah. 20, 25 years, something like that.
Yeah. Which is smart.
Yeah.
For back then.
Dude. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not into that stuff at all.
No.
I'm into my science books and astronomy and stuff like that.
You can't explain it at all.
No, I've tried for years. I haven't been able to, I've been thinking about it for fucking years and years. And I've come to a few conclusions.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got to be holographically generated.
Right.
But with such a holographic device, it's got to be able to produce form.
Aye. And manipulate stuff.
Because you can have holograms that look solid. But to make a hologram feel solid is a different matter. Yeah. It's got to it has to emit energy at a frequency that affects your automated defense system, which is electrical. You know, this is all biologically proven. You know, that's what activates your fear sensors. An electrical field that's opposite to yours. It's an alarm system. It's very good, and it extends out quite a way. You know, depending on how you're feeling. The more relaxed you are, the stronger it is. Fear makes it reduce, but makes it more impenetrable. It makes you feel like a defense field. That's where you get your adrenaline rush from. It kicks in when it gets too much for your cerebellum. The chemicals make it release adrenaline to give you the strength, because it knows you're going to have to fight to the fucking death here. So it gives you that immune to wounds feeling, like a soldier on a battlefield. He's so scared, he's full of adrenaline, he gets shot, he doesn't even feel it.
Yeah.
Till afterwards,
yeah.
You know. I could attest to that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So anyway, we're screaming off, we're driving down this fucking hill. We go straight out across the road and we're fucking pull up just on the side, 600 yards from the opening to the drive.
Yeah.
Just to take a breath. Because I'm like, fuck it, if you carry on like that, we're going to die. So let's just take a breather. As we're doing that, a car comes around the corner and we just think nothing of it. It pulls up at the side of us, this car. And it's a cop car.
Cops.
The police. And we're thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. There's no way he could have seen us screeching out of that driveway.
No.
There's no way, because we're parked. So my mate winds the window down and he says, yes, officer. I do. And he says, what are you doing here, lads? And we said, well, we've just been up to that church having a look at it. And he says, while your window up, drive back down to the town as soon as we can. And he wound his window up and fucked off. Back up the Snake's Pass, and he was round the bend and gone. And we were like, what the fuck did he... We were like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah.
Why don't you window up and drive like fuck?
Yeah.
And as he said that, Kathy starts screaming in the back again because she's still looking at the church, thinking fucking monsters are coming, which we couldn't really argue against because we'd just seen something that we can't explain. We can attest to a monster, a demon. You can put whatever name you want, but whatever this fucking thing is, it was not human. That's what I can attest to. I don't know what the fuck it was. But it was physically there because I was ready to fight for it. And yet that interaction wouldn't have happened if it wasn't real. You know? But from my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
So my mate panics, he winds his window up and he puts his foot on the gas. So for the next 6 miles, I'm just thinking, I'm going to fucking die here. Because he's screeching off and Kathy's still screaming. He's like, what are you screaming at? Shut up, because it's putting him off his driving. And she's like, look. And because the lights of the car, all we can see behind us is a bank of fog. Literally fog. Pea soup fog. A wall of fog that's come down from this fucking church. And it's on our ass. And we're doing 30, might be 30 mile an hour at this moment, just because he's fucking going faster and faster down this hill that he shouldn't be going over 40 because of the corners. And this wall of fog just seems to be fucking right on our ass, following us, rolling behind us. It's like something out of a fucking movie. Like if you ever see pyroclastic floor coming down a volcano when it's blown, it's going at 500 miles an hour, fucking, you know, churning after you. I'm witnessing this myself. I'm thinking, it's not fucking possible. This was a crystal clear moonlit night. Where the fuck did that come from?
Just came out of nowhere.
And it's fucking glowing red because of the red lights at the back of his car, you know? And I'm fucking faster. I'm like, go faster, mate. Just go. So he does. And anyway, we end up nearly fucking killing ourselves on a few of these corners. But I'm just... And the moment we hit the first street light, which happens to be about 5.6 miles from the church back down, before you start seeing houses and shit coming up because you're going to go drive into a village, we hit these first street lights and the fog just seems to stop behind us as if you can, you know, like a Doppler effect. Your car's going forward and the fog was moving, but then it's just gone like that, stopped. And it stopped right at the lights. Because you can see the orange light disappearing in the background. So the wall of fog stopped there. I'm shitting up, mate. I can't get my fucking head around that to this day. What the fuck was that?
And
I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, and I'm not just talking like a little band of fog, like a pyroclastic floor coming after you. But it was fog. You know, I'm like, fucking Jesus.
Crazy.
And I've been trying to work this out for fucking over 30 years. And I can only come up with answers I can kind of explain.
A lot of it can't.
It's like the thing we saw in the church. I can only tell you, mate, that thing, whatever it wasn't human, but it was actually there. Physically fucking there. Just like you are to me right now. I can feel your presence, you know.
Not the presence.
Fucking right, it did. It terrified me, mate.
You were just scared to shit.
Oh, dude. If I'd have had somewhere to run, I'd have been running.
Mm-hmm.
But I was backed into a corner like a fucking cornered rat, thinking I'm going to die, but I'm going to take whatever I can of you with me.
Right, exactly.
Whatever you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I still can't get it in my head.
Haunting you.
Well,
Or just
what's haunting me is the fucking explanation is haunting me.
Not knowing
whatever this thing was, yeah, fuck that. I've never been back. Never, please do not, audience. I'm telling you, do not fucking go to this place. Because, if you want to point to a place and say that place is evil, then fucking put that word to it. I don't attest to that word because I don't believe it.
And you've never been back and you never...
Fuck that.
No. Once was
no fucking way, mate. I won't go back there with 10 fucking Marines. Because what the fuck is going on there?
Yeah. Something fucked up.
Where does a fucking panther come from? That's just like ridiculous. The coincidences don't even compute to me.
No, but like you said, there's been reports of them on the moors.
Oh yeah.
Recently or what?
No. When we did the research, we went back and researched witches have been photographed dancing in the graveyards. You can actually see the photographs at the bunkhouse. Yeah. There's a bunkhouse that's like a place where climbers and hikers can go and stay for a few days. And they have a wall similar to this board here. And they put the photographs up. Yeah. Yeah, and they've got a photograph of the church from a certain angle. I think it's from somewhere in the car park. Because right at the back of the church, we didn't know this, but there's an old Roman road. There literally is a Roman road there. Yeah, a Roman road's one that's built by the Romans, and they walked so they could move soldiers quickly from it to be. Well, tourists have taken pictures of the church, but they've gotten shots in the shop when it's come out. They've gotten pictures of a Roman centurion army, hundreds of Romans, from waist height, because obviously they're taking it at an angle. You can't see the legs, but it's at waist height, and they're in the road walking. You can you can see them clear as day. I was looking at the picture, I'm thinking, what a fucking picture. Why is that not up on the news? You know?
Yeah.
And then you look at when the last vicar was there, they don't make sense to the graves that are there.
Right.
The people in the graves have got history of witchcraft and manners and working on the land. It's all the people that worked on the land are buried at the fucking church, what you find out. It's a massive history to it. Yeah. We even called at the guy's house with the two Dobermans and said, can we ask you some questions? He said, no. And we're like, why? And he says, because it brings around bad things when I talk about the place.
He's just a caretaker.
And I see shit all the time. He's talking to us like this. We're not recording him, but he's being honest. He's saying, just leave it alone, lads. Yeah.
An interesting one to do.
Well, yeah. He did say, he said, it's not for the holy. Yeah. Up there.
No.
Well, we didn't sink in for a while, that. Yeah. But it definitely meant it's for the unholy, whatever it is. So I suggest, really, if I'm telling you, that this fucking, what I'm telling you, comes with a warning. Yeah. Do not go to Crowdon Church.
Serious one.
It's as simple as that. Yeah. And that's my experience with the paranormal in it. One of many. But that's the